Hello, everyone. I wanted to hop on here and celebrate Pride with you guys because there are so many amazing queer writers out there, and I feel like this is a time to really embrace reading more queer writers and just attending to the story that is not the homogenous story that we're frickin' sold. So, what do I mean by that? Well, there's an overlying story, narrative about how a person should be in this culture. What color their skin should be, ideally, what sexual orientation they should take, and how they should live their lives. Boring. Not only boring, but incredibly damaging to the wild nature of our beings. And obviously, with that kind of homogenous thinking, there is a lot of oppression. And since I'm all about busting apart oppression, liberation for all beings everywhere, thank you very much. I want to celebrate Pride and want to celebrate queer writers and share with you some of the queer writers that have really influenced me and whose work I love and whose work is like changing the world. So, one that I love and have loved for all time is Virginia Woolf. So, Virginia Woolf, queer writer, she maybe wouldn't have used that word back in the day, but she was married to Leonard Woolf, but also had a great love affair with Vita Sackville West and wrote the book Orlando for Vita. And this book was like, it's a super fun read if you haven't read it. And it's gender bending and also literarily exciting. So Virginia Woolf, one of my faves, and changed the landscape of literature for sure. Mary Oliver, everybody knows the Wild Geese poem. And she is, and bless her, and she's just recently passed, but huge influence in the world. Her tenderness, the way that she views the world, I just so appreciate Mary Oliver. There are lots of others, and I'm going to list a few here, but usually when I read a writer that I really love and then I look deeper into them, I'm like, oh, they're queer, of course. And I think this is because if you grow up in a queer body and that you don't fit the mold of that the culture overlays upon you, and so you have to challenge it, and that's a really creative act. So I think that we need wild and varied stories to reflect the wild and varied beings that we are. If you think about nature monocropping, is not good for the earth, for the fertility and vitality of the planet, and it lessens the resilience of the natural world. And so we in a wild ecosystem there is variety, and that creates resilience, and we need a lot of resilience right now. So including in literature, including like the homogenization of ideas, like forget it, let's not do that. Let's be interested and engaged in each other and in the variety of ideas and stories there are out there. So celebrate Pride and all these amazing queer writers that are out there. And we're going to post lists this week. But some of my favorites right now: Garth Greenwell, love his work; Lidia Yuknavitch, Adrienne Marie Brown, Joshua Whitehead, Ali Smith, Carmen Maria Machado, Melissa Febos, and the list goes on and on and on. So I encourage you to read one or two. If you don't read any queer writers, find some good queer writers and read them, and open the stories that are out there and available to you. And I will see you soon. Happy Pride!